Hello world, let me introduce myself. I am Kuma Computer, and I will be in charge of directing this film. Nice to meet you. Our main star is Honkai Star Rail's newest Abundance 5-star, Lingsha. She is yet another unit that uses a break effect stat, which has been a common pattern lately, being vital for some of the most meta-relevant teams. Lingsha will serve as a powerful sustain option in break effect based teams, being able to not only provide excellent healing for the supporting actors, but also increasing their damage output as well as performing some damage of her own. But that's enough spoilers. Let's see what our Stunt Department has to say about what she can do. Lingsha's basic attack deals fire damage to a single enemy. Simple enough. Smoke and Splendor, her skill, deals fire damage to all enemies and restores HP to all her allies. Additionally, Fu Yuan's action advances by 20%. More on this co-star later. Dripping Mistscape, Lingsha's ultimate, inflicts Befog on all enemies, making them receive increased break damage for 2 turns. It also deals fire damage to all enemies and restores HP to all her allies. Last but not least, Fu Yuan's action advances by 100%. Now, it's Fu Yuan's time to shine, thanks to Lingsha's talent, Mist Dance Manifest. When Smoke and Splendor is used, Fu Yuan is summoned with 3 actions and 90 speed. In its turn, Fu Yuan performs a follow-up attack, dealing fire damage to all enemies, then to a single random enemy, prioritizing those with toughness and fire weakness. Fu Yuan also dispels 1 debuff from all allies and heals them. Fu Yuan can have up to 5 actions at once, and it disappears when its action count reaches 0 or when Lingsha is knocked. Using Smoke and Splendor while Fu Yuan is on the field adds 3 to its action count. Lingsha's technique, Wisps of Aurora, immediately summons Fu Yuan upon entering battle and inflicts Befog on all enemies for 2 turns. Oh, that reminds me. I believe we had some mail by Rachel_YT asking about what exactly Break Effect is. I'll try to keep it brief. Break Effect is a stat that can be raised by things such as skills, talents, light cones, relics, etc. A common misunderstanding is that it affects how quickly a character depletes an enemy's toughness bar. That is not the case. The stats that affect that are weakness break efficiency or toughness reduction, which as of right now are only obtainable through some talents, eidolons, or blessings. Break effect influences what happens after this toughness bar is depleted. This changes depending on the element of the character that broke the enemy's weakness. Physical characters apply bleed on the enemy, fire applies burn, ice applies freeze, lightning applies shock, wind applies wind shear, quantum applies entanglement, and imaginary applies imprisonment. Break effect increases damage dealt upon depleting an enemy's toughness bar and affects the debuff applied in different ways depending on which debuff was applied. Some characters scale with break effect, and some others are able to deal super break damage, dealing damage based on break effect to enemies whose toughness bars have been depleted. If you're interested in seeing exactly what break effect does to certain characters, I suggest you take a moment to see for yourself. But if it's an important stat for the character in question, the game will let you know with its new recommendation function in the UI. With that being clarified, we can carry on with Lingsha's kit with her traces. Her second Ascension Trace increases Lingsha's attack or outgoing healing by an amount equal to 25 or 10% of break effect, up to a maximum of 50% or 20% respectively. Fourth Ascension Trace regenerates 10 energy for her after using basic attack, and Sixth Ascension Trace allows Fu Yuan to perform a follow-up attack without consuming an action after a character's HP goes below 60% as long as it's in the field. Afterwards, this trace enters cooldown for 2 turns. Furthermore, here's a quick rundown of Lingsha's Eidolons. Eidolon 1 increases Lingsha's weakness break efficiency by 50% and reduces enemies' defense by 20% after being weakness broken. Eidolon 2 increases all allies' break effect by 40% for 3 turns after using Lingsha's ultimate. Eidolon 3 increases ultimate and talent level by 2 levels, raising their maximum accordingly. Eidolon 4 restores HP to the ally with lowest HP when Fu Yuan takes action. Eidolon 5 increases skill and basic attack level by 2 and 1 respectively, raising their maximum accordingly. Eidolon 6 reduces all enemies all-type rests by 20% while Fu Yuan is on the field. Furthermore, when Fu Yuan attacks, it performs 4 additional instances of damage to a single random enemy, having the same target priorities as Lingsha's talent. That should be everything. Let's continue by taking a look at what our props master has to say. I'll list off some good light cones in order of how good they are on Lingsha. The top of the list is naturally taken by her signature light cone, Scent Alone Stays True. This light cone increases the wearer's break effect by 60%. Furthermore, after using the ultimate to attack enemy targets, all enemy targets hit are inflicted with a woe-free state for 2 turns, causing them to take 10% more damage. This damage increase is boosted by an additional 8% if the wearer's break effect is 150 or higher. Echoes of the Coffin is also a great choice, increasing the wearer's attack by 24% and regenerating 3 energy for each enemy hit by the wearer's attack. Additionally, increases all allies' speed by 12 after the wearer uses their ultimate. Up next, What is Real is a solid 4-star pick, increasing the wearer's break effect by 24% and restoring their HP after using a basic attack. Night of Fright is also an option, increasing the wearer's energy regen rate by 12%. Additionally, when any ally uses their ultimate, the wearer restores HP to the ally with the lowest HP percentage, equal to 10% of that ally's max HP. Lastly, when the wearer heals an ally, it boosts this ally's attack by 2.4%, stacking up to 5 times and lasting for 2 turns. Time Waits for No One increases the wearer's max HP by 18% and outgoing healing by 12%. Additionally, when the wearer heals allies, it records the amount of outgoing healing. Then, when any ally attacks, a random enemy takes additional damage equal to 36% of this recorded value. This additional damage matches the wearer's type, is unaffected by other buffs, and can only occur once per turn. Post-stop Conversation is another 4-star choice, increasing the wearer's energy regen rate by 8% and increasing outgoing healing when they use their ultimate by 12%. After that, Hey Over Here, yes, that's what it's called, increases the wearer's max HP by 8%, and when the wearer uses their skill, increases outgoing healing by 16%, lasting for 2 turns. And finally, Shared Feeling increases the wearer's outgoing healing by 10%. Also, when using their skill, regenerates 2 energy for all allies. Next up, let's see what outfits the costume designers came up with. Should be around... there we go. In scenes where Lingsha seeks to do more damage of her own, Iron Cavalry against the Scourge is ideal, increasing her break effect by 16% and ignoring 10% of the target's defense if Lingsha's break effect is 150 or higher. Additionally, if her break effect is 250 or higher, her super break damage ignores 15% of the enemy's defense. However, if the director wishes for a different stance or a more accessible costume to cut fuel costs, Thief of Shooting Meteor increases her break effect by 32% and regenerates 3 energy after inflicting weakness break on an enemy. Lastly, in scenes where Lingsha's accomplices need more sustain instead of damage or utility, Passerby of Wandering Cloud is a great choice, increasing outgoing healing by 10% and regenerating a skill point upon starting a battle. Some great accessories for these costumes are as follow. Forge of the Kalpagni Lantern increases Lingsha's speed by 6% and increasing her break effect by 40% after hitting an enemy with fire weakness, a perfect match for her. Another option is Talia Kingdom of Banditry, which increases her break effect by 16% and an extra 20% if her speed reaches 145 or higher. And finally, Fleet of the Ageless increases her max HP by 12%, and when her speed reaches 120 or higher, all allies' attack increases by 8%. Regardless of the costume the director picks, the desired stats are as follow. For her body piece, outgoing healing boost or attack is the best pick, depending on which piece has better substats. Her footwear must have either speed or attack, depending on whichever the director feels she needs, and again, its substats. Planar Sphere is recommended to be attack, as most of her scaling relies on it. And as for her link rope, energy regen or break effect works best, whichever one she needs to reach a better stat balance. Her most suitable subsidiary stats are break effect, then speed, then attack percent. It's important for her to spread these stats properly, prioritizing getting as much break effect as possible without neglecting speed and attack. Oh, assistant, tell the costume designers everything looks great. And did the casting team finish their scouting? Oh, wonderful, thank you. I'll have a look. Okay, let's see. Lingsha's best matches are actors that either scale with break effect, buff it, or both. Her skill set works greatly in any scene where you would usually imagine Gallagher being in. She helps actors such as Firefly and Boothill shine, with them being usually paired with the Harmony Trailblazer and Ruan Mei. If budget is limited, Xueyi is also an option as a main DPS. She can also function well in scenes with actors specialized in follow-up attacks, such as Topaz, Ruan, and Feixiao. Lingsha can be used as a sustain if Aventurine isn't available at the time of casting, or maybe even as a better option due to her buffs. Other than that, she is fortunately very versatile, being a great sustain unit regardless of the actors you pair her with. And with that, we are ready to begin filming. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this behind the scenes segment, please do leave a good review and subscribe so you never miss my latest films. If there's anything else you want to know, or if you think my script could improve, I invite you to let me know in the comments. I read every single one of them. Good luck in your pulls, and I'll see you next time.